I, 28 female, almost cheated on my husband, 28 male, of 3.5 years. Do I tell him or take it to the grave?
Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started.
I, 28 female, almost cheated on my husband, 28 male, of 3.5 years. Do I tell him or take it to the grave? I feel like total shit writing this, but it's had me reeling since, and I'm completely lost for what to do. I've been with my husband for 6 years, married 3.5. I love him and adore him with all my heart. I would never hurt him, and he is everything to me. We have a beautiful 2-year-old daughter, and we're going to try with another child soon. It's a perfect marriage and a perfect life, so that makes me super ashamed to say the next part. Over the last 2 months, I haven't had much chance to see my friends. My husband has been working a bit more, and taking care of our daughter has been a lot of work too. I work from home, and that has eaten up plenty of time as well. The stress of work and lack of any leisure over the last 2 months has really got to me, so I ended up clearing my schedule so I could go out with my friends on Saturday night. My husband was glad that I would get a relax and take a well-deserved break. So, last night, I go out with my friends to a local bar. Nothing too special. We're drinking, catching up, having a good time when a group of younger handsome guys approach us and start up a conversation. It was fun, a bit flirty, but definitely light-hearted and harmless. Anyway, it was getting late, around 11 p.m., so I decided to head out and get a cab home. Most of my friends were single, so they decided to stay a bit longer. One of the guys accompanied me out and we talked a bit outside, and he suggested I go home with him. I don't know what came over me, but at that moment, the only thing I could think about was how attractive he was. It's like I completely disregarded my husband and daughter when I was around him. I wasn't super drunk. I definitely knew what was going on. I started following him into his car and was actually close to getting in, but then reality hit me again and I felt so terrible for what I did. He insisted I go with him, but I quickly excused myself and then called a cab. I got home and my husband was asleep with my daughter in his arms. I couldn't help it. I just started crying and took a long shower to try and forget about it. I went to sleep next to them and woke up still feeling like shit for almost cheating on him. He could tell something was up, but I just told him I had too much to drink and was sleeping it off. I've been wearing a mask since this morning, trying my best to hide my guilt. I feel so shameful for it. There's nothing bad about our relationship that could lead me to cheating. We have sex often, and there is plenty of intimacy. Even though my husband works a lot, he still makes time for me, and I can't thank him enough for how hard he works to support me and our daughter. I don't know how I even took a single step in the direction of this stranger's car. I would never cheat on my husband, but it terrifies me that I came close to it. That I was merely feet away from entering his car, going home with him, and betraying my husband in the worst possible way. It sickens me that I almost cheated on him. I'm disgusted. I even set foot in the path to cheating in the first place. I wasn't even in a drunk haze that would affect my decision making. I was aware enough to know that I was walking towards infidelity, But somehow, that didn't cause me to stop until I was inches from his car. This has really been messing with my head since. I'm so glad that I came to my senses before I did something I could never forgive myself for. Believe me, as soon as I realized what I was doing, I get out of that situation unbelievably fast. The guy's words weren't even registering in my ears at that point. I hate myself for even letting it get to that point, and I'm crushed that one time in a long time I went out to have fun. I couldn't do it responsibly and almost destroyed the love of my life. My husband is the farthest thing from spineless. He would leave me without a second's hesitation if I cheated, whether it be a short lived emotional affair or a drunken kiss. That's the kind of person he is. He doesn't tolerate any bullshit, and I respect him for that. I honestly don't know how he would feel though if I told him what happened. On one hand, I didn't cheat, but on the other hand, I came dangerously close to it. Do I tell him? I think that I'm going to have to, because I doubt I can keep this bottle up forever. The guilt is already crushing me, and I'm not sure if it's in my capacity to keep this hidden away forever. But also, I really don't want to have this conversation with my husband. I don't want to potentially destroy him by telling him I almost cheated. But if he ever almost cheated with another woman, I would definitely want to know, and I feel like I'm robbing him of his right to know despite concealing it. What do I do?